Hey, are you seriously podcasting alone?
Nah, I'm with my...
Round motherfucking 2, baby.
Let's go.
Oh, I'm here to game some squids.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
What Korean man do I have to slap to get a game around here?
You can slap Netflix, actually, if you could. I don't know if you physically can, but I hope you could.
Shit, I'll take a try.
But yeah, welcome back, guys. This is part 2 for Squid Game Challenge. Thank you. We're gonna be continuing after episode 4, but before that, I don't know if you guys wanted to present yourselves again.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I am John, hanging out with another John, and I have the lovely Nicola with me.
Manjud.
On the other end, normally our trusty moderator makes sure that we do not go over time. Priscilla, reading the story today, hosting today. Host with the most from last time.
She goes over time herself.
Yes, I do, actually. But yeah, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We're going to be continuing from episode 4. We left off last time after the really intense battleship game and everything you guys thought about it and everything.
Very strategic battleship.
Yes, very strategic. Something that Nick had no idea was even possible, but yes.
Fucking moron.
There's strategy.
Fucking too much math, algebra for him.
Fucking idiot.
Algebra is not real.
But yeah, we're gonna be picking up from episode 4, where this time we have this new character. Again, I keep calling them characters. They're real people. But
Mold guy isn't a real person.
anything on TV is fake. It's just not even people anymore. It's just characters to me. But yeah, this new character, he's called Dr. V. Kind of sounds like that doctor in, what was that, Inspector Gadget.
Is he shredded?
Wasn't he Claw?
Okay, 2 questions.
I mean, he's Dr. V because he got the V. He's got
Dr.
the
V,
shape.
he's kind of like, I think he's short. That's not a
That doesn't get in the way of having a V. Yeah.
It's Dr. V because he's a gynecologist.
Short people just don't work out.
Short people are not ripped by nature, but it's just no. I think he works out. It looks like he works out.
Nice.
So I can't say if he shredded. I didn't see his shirt off.
Bro, they call
Maybe
him,
he
they
did and
call him
Netflix
Dr.
never
V
said.
because he's a gynecologist, man.
No, he's like we saw that he was like a non-invasive surgeon. So like he doesn't even do like the big. I'm fucking full on shitting on this guy.
It ain't invasive if you want.
Go to medical school and don't even do invasive surgery. Pussy.
What's invasive surgery? Do they like put their fingers up your ass?
When you don't knock before entering.
I'm guessing it's like those. Yeah, like I am wondering what's it. Anyway, that's not the point of the thing. But
He cuts moles off.
honestly,
that's-
probably
yeah.
I think that's what that is. You're right.
That makes a lot of sense.
That would make sense. John is
None
not.
of this doesn't set. None of this is adding up to me. I'm gonna.
All right,
John is
carry
not
on,
convinced.
carry on.
I'm a high school dropout. I can answer these questions.
We continue with Dr. V. We're presented to him, and he's very like, because I'm a doctor and everything, I have to lead the nurses to do this and this. So like I'm kind of a natural born leader, and which I find funny because again, it's at episode 4 we finally know him, who he even is. We've never been privy to.
They just hired him.
Like,
And he's fucking this cocky.
literally, that's the only time you see him like here. You can see he already has people who are against him. You don't understand why people have already kind of like a weird vibe about him.
Why does everybody treat this guy like he's a fucking asshole?
That's the
What
thing.
do he do?
That's where you don't understand, because immediately you get that the new game that they're playing, which is, it's not really a good game personally, I feel. They have to vote out 3 people. Just 3 people. Okay. And they're like still like in the hundreds of people still left, but like they just have to vote out 3 people. But the way they have to vote it out, it's like this big button in the middle of the room that gets placed by the guards, and they all are behind, like in one single line. But each vote they put out, it's kind of like an ATM machine. So they get to put the numbers of their little like name tags of their thing. And it shows who they voted for.
Ooh,
that's the thing.
Spicy.
So that it spices up, but I'm still a bit like, well, you're still kind of voting.
We don't know
Now you're
these
behaving like an actual reality show.
But I still think it's like
Trying
when
to
you're
make
100
enemies.
people, you don't fully know each other. And if you haven't established them super well, I feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity.
It's too
there,
much of a big number of people to care.
That's the thing. So with Dr. V, the reason why they show it's because they show another girl, and she's like, apparently she's part of this alliance. And, you know, I jokingly call them like the Black Alliance. But like I said, there's like maybe 2-3 like white people in there, but it's just like, it was predominantly like black. So I was just like, okay. And she had immediately beef with Dr. V because he was trying to set it up on how they were going to vote, and everybody shut him down immediately. So I was like, okay, so big leader talk, but nobody gives a fuck about you. I was like, okay, interesting. Interesting. And she was like, I don't like this guy. He's too arrogant. He's too this. Like, she was giving a lot of like adjective. And I'm like, but where is this coming from? Like, where is this again?
She slept next to the guy.
Maybe she knows.
Man snores.
And to give a bit of context, because Netflix did not give context, the people I always refer to when I'm saying that like they've talked about the behind the scene is there was a podcast with Trey. He's like the guy that's the son with the mother and son duo, and this guy called Roland that you won't see and I won't mention until later because they don't mention him until later. So yeah, it's like their podcast, and they were talking about behind the scenes. And what I found interesting is that Roland immediately says, hey, so that Dr. V guy, he was trying to start a cult. And I'm like, what? And like the guy Trey was like, yeah, like it might have been
Wait,
weird.
what?
I know. I double take to that too. I was like, wait, I missed.
Within Squid Game?
Within Squid
Oh
Game.
shit, that's cool.
That's the thing. I was
That's
like,
fucking cool.
fuck, I wanted to see this. And then he gives examples because he was like, oh, I never try to get too close because like what he was trying to do, because he kept getting like people to do like yoga sessions with him, but like very strategic yoga sessions. And Trey was part of those yoga sessions. And he even said, he's like, oh shit, like when we did that, it straight up felt like drugs. Like it felt like we took drugs. We
He's
got
trying to
this
start a
high.
spin-off
And I was
show.
like, no. Yeah. I was
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, I mean, that's like even how like Bikram yoga goes and stuff like that, like something like hot yoga. Bikram yoga was like hot yoga, mass amount of people, like Squid Game level amounts of people, you know, in one big ass room with the heating jacked up. And there was just one leader, the Bikram, the guy who turned out to be, you know, Harvey Weinstein style kind of rapist. He had like a fucking tube with AC like running just for him personally. But it was exactly that phenomenon where they explained it. It's like, it feels like drugs when you're all like, you know, you do so much like suffering together in a room that you do it like in a unity sort of sense, and then like everybody just like develops, you know, it's like how siblings, you know, they grow up and they gain attachment from basically having the same experiences and being together the whole time. You know, it's the same thing here where like people gain this sort of attachment to each other, and that's how cults get formed. But yeah, so you know, yoga's dangerous.
I was wondering how why a doctor would be there.
That's the thing. He was trying to start a cult.
Free cult.
He's trying to make a side
That's
hustle.
what I'm saying. I think even, especially for the non-invasive surgeries, which means he probably has like his own practice to that. That might be more cosmetics, like you were saying. So like that's probably even more money. So
Or maybe you got fired for malpractice.
ex-doctor.
Yeah,
He just
exactly.
did not want them to put X
Got
in
that
front of
doctor
that. So yeah, that was that little tidbit. Apparently he might have been starting cult. Obviously he was being very hyperbolic, but you know, from what John just said, that might have been not too wrong either.
If he was trying to, he was going the right route, is essentially what I'm trying to say. He was
had
like, yoga is the way, dude. Like, yeah, you were doing it right. But this would be like a perfect villain for like the series itself. Like the Squid Game season 2 should do something like that. That'd be really cool to see somebody starting a cult
Like a
among
cult in
Squid
it.
Game and
Yeah.
getting people to fucking sacrifice themselves in a game. I can write season 2 right now.
This is really like, how do we rewrite Squid Game and Squid Game Challenge?
The Yogi supervillain.
Those were some of the tidbits from the behind the scenes for Squid Game Challenge, at least the impression they had.
The Squid Gamers from the challenge, they have a podcast.
So it's Roland that has one. Again, I'm mentioning him later because he doesn't appear till then. And I think there's maybe 2-3 other more. There's another alliance where they've ended up, I think, doing also themselves. They call themselves the Gangbu Alliance, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's kind of a reference in the show. And they're all like, there's where the most of the mullet guys are, some of the younger guys, and like one older guy who's really sweet, like he's very much like, yeah, I'm part of the guy gang. Woo! Like it's very cute. Like it's very sweet.
All his friends are dead.
He's not that old, but apparently he has like 18 like grandchildren. That guy, I was like, Jesus Christ.
He ran his own cult.
That's why he was
He
happy.
made it all himself.
That's why they knew what Dr. V was cooking.
Dr. V wanted more. But yeah, so you get a lot more view on them. Like it's still a tidbits, but they get screen time. But like the Black Alliance obviously just barely gets any screen time. Again, showed up out of nowhere in episode 4. At least the Gangbu Alliance was starting.
Hey guys, come here. We really like what you guys are doing. We love your hair, by the way. Really nice hair.
I hope that's exactly what the producers.
You guys' hair, crazy, amazing. We love it here.
How does it get so curly?
So like, I know you guys. I know you guys are like forming a team, and like we're really happy for you. We're rooting for you and all that. But just like during the challenges, maybe just kind of like not hang out together. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, we're a family show. We're Netflix. We just
Black
don't
Power.
don't want to promote any like un-American values.
I love Black Panther.
I actually paid for Black Panther. Yeah, I was there.
I paid for Black Panther 3 times. I voted Black Panther into the Oscars.
I didn't watch it, but yeah.
Just to give you a quick recap, so there's two alliances, 2 big alliances, but one of them has already, because the girl that I'm telling you about that she doesn't like Dr. V, her name is Cheney, and she seemed like people are clocking her. Cheney? Dick Cheney. Yes.
Cheney.
You said like
that
dick.
Like the dick.
You know that dick named Cheney?
The recognizable dick. Yes, Dick Cheney,
Cool.
but like as a black woman.
So Black Dick Cheney.
Black Dick Cheney woman. Parentheses female. So yes, she's kind of like the leader. The leader, like, yeah, she influences their decisions. So she was already telling them, like, okay, this is Dr. V is the one we're gonna vote out for. Like, we're gonna put our votes for. While this is going on, we have Lorenzo. Lorenzo is there.
My twin brother.
He like they get everybody in the group, and then you have like the mother, like the woman mother. There's other girls, like they've I think they've won some apples. Again, not even explained. They just have apples. I was like, I don't even know where those fucking apples came from. I don't know if they explain. They're just apples. I was like, where the fuck did those apples come?
Where the fuck did they get the apples?
Again, cut off stuff where they just have apples, and what their technique was like, they cut up the apples and they're like, hey, we're offering apples to everyone. So I'm guessing they probably won that, but they just elected not to show it.
Just smuggled some apples in.
Imagine you pick up the phone and they just give you fucking apples. They've been giving people Big Macs and you got apples.
You got fucking apples.
What a bummer.
But they were doing it. They were presenting it around. And Lorenzo is like, no, I ain't about that fake shit. I don't want their apples. I know what they're trying to do. I ain't here to make friends. I was like, hell yeah.
Lorenzo is not here to consort with bitches.
Like, he was very, like, the mother was getting, like, affronted by that. She was like, oh, like, he's being kind of mean. Like, I don't understand why he's being rude and everything. So, I don't know. You're in a challenge. You're in the squid. Like, he could be rude, so maybe you could vote him off for that type of reason. But like, I don't know.
Trying to make a splash.
Would you guys do that? Like, if there was somebody, because I gave you like 2 other villains that they presented us, And I was wondering if that would really affect on if you had a lot of those, you get to vote off somebody. Are you voting off somebody that you find annoying, that you don't like, or that you think is your biggest competitor, or your worst competitor, like the weakest of the bunch?
I think the annoying ones, the selfish people, because you think a good competitor, especially when you're still teams, you want them on your team.
That's true.
So
For the most part, personality for me wouldn't matter. I'd be like, yeah, they're fucking annoying, but I can see that they're not athletic or anything. So I'm like, if there's athletic challenges, they're out.
Okay.
it's all about the abs.
That's all. Yeah, if they got abs, well,
They
you're
got
out,
no
buddy.
abs.
I'm sorry. It's just jealousy.
No, that does make sense.
I think personally, I think it would also be the annoying. So I've never been into the reality show like tactic of like I'm going to get rid of my competition. Like fuck that. I'd rather the competition be fair and me just do it. If somebody's like cheating or something, then I'll say it. But like if it's really just I'll just eliminate the annoying person because it's just like, well, I'd rather this be a fun time and not an annoying fucking time. If I lose, I lose. But I'll lose fairly. And yeah,
The cult leader has to go.
I'll definitely
fair.
eliminate that one lady that's holding all the eggs hostage. I need all of those.
that lady's Lorenzo, by the way.
That was Lorenzo. That lady. It's
That
Lorenzo.
lady was a man.
That was Lorenzo. But yeah, so he's got that. So now you got the ideas of like the people already thinking who they're gonna vote out. So everybody gets in a file, and the first person that gets voted out is like, again, some random that you don't hear. And then you get a tidbit of his stuff, and that made me laugh hard because he was like, oh shit, my tactic in this game has been downplaying my like abilities, and I kept telling people like, oh, maybe I want to go home just so that like they wouldn't pay attention to me. But now because they heard of this, they might vote me out because they think I don't want to
You
be here.
absolute fucking moron.
Fucking
You
killed me.
absolute idiot.
I died of laughter. I was like, oh no, why did you go that route?
Reverse psychology himself out of the game.
So like because of that, like the first person that goes votes him out. And when you're the one next, because if you vote out somebody like that's new, that person will vote for you because you're kind of like the target in a way. So after he voted that person, and everybody kind of knew that, like a lot of the votes just kept being for that guy. I was like, ooh, you fucked yourself on this one. Then the grandma's there at like mother. I call him grandma. Mother is just, she looks like a grandma, but she's a mother. I'm sorry if she ever listens to this. Sorry.
She looks old.
She looks old, yes. So when she gets there to vote, instead of continuing that vote, she votes for Lorenzo.
Oh.
She puts up Lorenzo, and Lorenzo in the back is like, this bitch. He doesn't say this bitch, but he's like, why the fuck is
This bitch.
yeah,
Why,
in a
you
thick
whore?
Italian accent, actually. In a very thick Italian accent. He's like, what the fuck? It was like, he's like, I got nothing against her, even though he shot on her a bit, but it was pretty funny. But he's like,
Lorenzo
what the fuck?
is clearly a gay man, isn't he?
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
he has that kind of like the gay vibe where he's like, he talks shit, but in like a more of a gossipy way as well.
Yeah.
So
That's
he's not
the thing.
necessarily being like super rude. He's just kind of being
Sassy.
flamboyant.
Yeah,
So
flamboyant,
his shit
sassy.
talking's rated E for everybody.
Basically, exactly. It's like that's why I'm like, he's not. He might be rude, but honestly, like that's part of the game. He's funny. People were always around him, so he couldn't have been that rude. I was like,
It's amusing shit talking.
yeah, exactly. So he's like, okay, well, this bitch is on my shit list. So like when it gets to him, he votes her. But when it gets to Cheney, no,
It's a lady Black Dick Cheney.
lady that wait, before that, because Lorenzo made me laugh. He's there to vote, and then he gets out of the line, goes to the grandma, and checks her name tag. He's like, oh, I just wanted to remember what your number was.
What a cunt.
Right to her face.
He made it fucking
So
obvious.
He was like, oh, sorry, I just needed to remember what your number was. And that shit really made me laugh. I was like, why weren't they keep shooting you? Because you're
That
funny.
is such a boss bitch move too, because it's like I couldn't even be bothered to remember my foe's fucking number on this show.
So funny.
Where he's like, oh, I just realized you're my enemy.
It's like he got to the pedestal and he's like, wait, what's that one bitch's name? Oh, I don't need her
Literally,
number.
it's like,
Fuck.
who
And
is
he
she? Oh, so condescending, and I love it. So then we go to Black Dick Cheney lady. We're gonna have various variations of that word.
It's like Lady Smith Black Mambazo. It's Lady Black Dick Cheney.
Lady Black Dick Cheney.
She's been what like knighted by the queen. It's like Lady Black Dick Cheney. but yeah, so Cheney pulls up and she's fucking excited to put her plan in motion. Puts Dr. V's like number, and then you see because like they get like a bit of close up on like some of the people that votes, and then it's like all her alliance just like voting her out, and they're kind of big actually. So it's a lot of
Black
votes.
Alliance?
The Black Alliance, yeah, a lot of the Black Alliance is voting, and they're pretty big. You're just like, oh shit, like yeah, like Dr. V, you're on your way out, which he's on his way
He's
out.
on his way out.
So
Bye-bye.
he gets eliminated. Like they finish the thing, he gets eliminated. Lorenzo gets eliminated.
Oh,
as well. Yeah.
What?
Lorenzo.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
He kept it spicy.
So he gets eliminated, and first dude gets eliminated. First dude that I don't even remember the name gets eliminated.
You should have walked to his name tag, man.
They were probably just like, yo, this guy's a bummer.
Yeah.
Keeps complaining.
They're like,
nah.
but this is you guys voting him out, being like, he's a fucking bummer. Get him out of here.
Or he just hasn't said a fucking word the whole time. He's just like, this is fucking boring.
It's like he doesn't even want to be here.
Like
It's
people are
funny.
hanging out and he just like enters the conversation but doesn't say anything. And like, nah, bro, he's weird.
It's so funny. So then that finishes, and like Cheney's like very happy with herself. She's like, "Yeah, got Dr. V out. Fuck yeah."
Nice.
She was with her alliance, and then there's this like white guy in the alliance, and his name is the true traitor. I'm kidding, but I'm fucking with you guys.
white guy.
There's his name is Dash, one of them, and Dash.
He's like, yeah, well, I was in Squid Games, but like I was one of the black people.
He's like, yeah, what was your name? Dash. It's like, fuck.
He has like a Tintin haircut, you know, like the Tintin.
No shit.
And he's like a redhead, so that was even funnier.
Dog,
I was like,
stop.
"Yo, that's Tintin."
That is Deadtime, bro.
That is the whitest black guy ever.
And so he was immediately like, "Oh shit! Like we might need to break this alliance," like because he was like worried on how big it was getting. So he went to other girls and he told them, "It's like, oh, like instead of voting for the guy she wanted, I voted for somebody." Like I voted for her because she got voted in the thing, but you know, it went nowhere because like there wasn't enough votes. And those girls were like, okay. And then they immediately go to the Black Alliances and be like, by the way, he voted for you. So immediately his strategy went to shit.
Wait, so he's part of the Black Alliance and he betrayed them
Yes.
for no fucking reason?
It's because
Fucking
he was
Judas.
he was more because he
Parts
was
of Black
worried on
Sea.
how like big they were getting. So he was just like, oh shit, like even if I'm a part of them, like that might get like it might get dicey, like stuff might go. So like if I vote for somebody like with her,
So he's
it
all
might break
about
that
he's
out.
all about
Like,
black
do it-
power and slowly start actually getting power.
You know, it just goes to show again, allies, but for how long?
No, but
know?
that's the-
you
you
know,
know-
if you're the only white guy in the Black Alliance,
There was like two other white
once they're
guys.
getting to the last five, okay, he's like they're gonna vote me out. The last game's gonna be basketball. I'm not gonna make it.
You know what was funny about Dash is because the girls he went to see were black girls too. So I was like,
Oh my god.
I'm like, they're not gonna.
No. It's
I was
staying in
like,
the group.
Nice of you to, because I genuinely don't think he thought about it more as racism. It was more of the fact that like, oh, like if I break that apart, it might be easier to have like instead of one big alliance and then I get kicked out either way.
He was trying to colonize the group.
Wait, so this white guy was trying to pull off some colonization, literally could divide and conquer the black women.
I don't want to put that on his back, but you guys said it.
That's what he's
exactly
done.
it.
That is the time. White dudes be colonizing by accident. It's generational.
funny.
It's the Columbus game plan.
Friends with them.
Man's pulled a
game
Columbus.
plan. I just heard the Columbus game plan. Oh, I love that. I don't, but you know,
I
I do
don't, but
not
it's good.
actually. So he goes and the girls rat him out from in the back, and like even they were like, wow, damn, he did that really crazy. And then they're like, well, We know who else we're gonna
Yeah.
kick out like right after. I was like, that was really stupid. You should have kept that secret if you're gonna do this thing.
Yeah, like when you pull some snaky shit like that on a reality show, and like, yeah, your plan might succeed to get one person kicked out, but you do realize you're the next one in line when everybody saw you pull off some snaky shit. Like,
that's the thing. I
You're
was
not
like,
to be trusted after that.
you can't be trusted. They were literally like, yeah, okay, well, we can't trust them. So next time,
Especially if no one noticed and you rat yourself out.
yeah.
Like, what a moron. So this is just all a gang war, basically.
It's gang war, yeah. It's full on gang war right now. Well, gang
So
war.
they got like the most middle class, like white bread people to just do prison.
It's-
like it's just
but like
prison.
very,
like,
very light prison. Like I looked at it, I was like, this is very light. Like even
It's low security prison.
yeah, super,
Because they still
super
get to
low.
play tennis.
like no one's gonna scrape no one's gonna scrape like toothbrushes and shank
They're
somebody.
fine.
No.
They managed to go there fine. I'd say only basketball dude, which his name is TJ. He literally is like, oh yes, I used to be in the hood, and like they shot at my sister, and I jumped to save her. I was like, oh, I was like, whoa, like okay, but again, it was
Can't
framing.
prove it.
Yeah.
Like no, I
You
don't
got a
know.
bullet wound to prove it.
The only thing that's believable about that story is him being able to jump.
Get the, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. My favorite time is like he said like, oh, they asked me why I did it, and I said, why not? No, he didn't say why not. He's like, I just did it. I think he just said, like, of course I was gonna do it. It's my sister and everything. I was like, okay. So yeah, the guards come in, and they are distributing blankets to everyone. But there's an uneven
Colonization.
what?
Smallpox.
Yo.
They have smallpox
no.
on that shit. I just got it. I was like, smallpox on this shit then? Oh my God. Colonization. And then, we don't have enough blankets, but we just have enough for the black folks here.
Who here has Native American blood?
We need the natives and the black folks to come over here, please.
Do I hear a Spanish accent?
All right, everybody divide yourself by racial groups. Make this easier.
We need to break this up. So blankets are being given out in pairs, but they're an uneven number. And there's a guy, it starts out with like one of the guys from the Black Alliance, the white guy. Sorry, I have to say it, just like the white guy from it. Ends up fighting another girl. And again, we don't understand what happened, but he's like, oh, like, fuck it. I don't want to be alone, so I guess I'll be with you. And there's like a weird sense of like, were they fighting a bit before this? But you don't understand, and you're just like, okay, well, like, whatever. Like, Netflix didn't give me anything, so whatever. So they get paired up, and only one guy is like left alone, which is Mullet Guy. Not Mullet Guy. There's another Mullet Guy.
There's
He-Man.
a lot of mullets.
Yes, He-Man guy. He looks like he has like big mullet. It's platinum blonde, and he has like a big mustache, platinum blonde as well too. So he gets left out, and they all get like given out like blankets, and they're all confused. And it's like picnic. They're having like a little picnic together, and they're like, "What?" It's like
The blankets are to hang yourself.
I hope so. So they get, and then the son and the mother, who seem to have suspicions from the get-go, end up checking, like the son like checks in the basket, and he finds like a packet of marbles. Now, Nick, because you haven't seen the show, in the game they have the same instances where they're basically being like, hey, pair up with somebody. And everybody pairs up with their favorite people. But they have to play a game of, it's not exactly a game of marbles, but they have to play a type of game that they choose with marbles. But whoever wins, it like gets to go, but whoever loses gets
That's
eliminated.
why,
So it was like kind of like the, you just chose the person you want to be with, but you're going to eliminate them and everyone. So the son and the, like, everybody finds it and everybody's like, oh shit. And then the son and the mother cries, which I didn't fully understand, because I was like, but you will share the money, no?
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like, obviously you can't
But
say it on.
They have a
on
weird
time.
sexual bond.
It's in their
It's gonna be
contract
lost.
clause that you can't share with nobody.
It's more like you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say that as a tactic on the show. They've said apparently you're not allowed to be like, hey, like if it's like somebody you don't know, be like, hey, if you get me there, I'll give you money. Like as a tactic, you're not allowed to do that.
Oh,
but you can definitely do it after the show. Like it's just they don't want you to use it during the show, but you can do that. So if the cameras are not rolling and you have a time,
like saying that the people
exactly
share the money.
You could also just say like, "Hey, if I win or you win, I'll give you money." And then just like in your confession, be like, "I'm not giving him any money."
just to be an asshole on camera. It's like I'm not giving him anything.
But then you know the producers are gonna like kind of like try to squeeze the information to that person. Be like, yeah, he said he's not gonna give you any money. It's like, what? No.
What did he tell me?
He promised me.
How dare you? Episode 6 follows along with that, like that little drop where they all get to this like it's like a fake set where it's supposed to mimic like a Korean neighborhood, and everybody's kind of separated in pairs, and they have to play. They each get like their marbles, and they have to decide on any type of game to play with those. So if there's like a tin, they put themselves on the front, and they're like, you know what, like one of us throws it, the one who gets the most in wins, or it's like whoever can like throw the marble as closest to the wall wins without touching the wall wins. So everybody has to choose their own like rules on how to dictate
so you have
that.
to figure out
Just a way to 1v1 somebody the whole time.
Basically. Yeah. So there was one that I found really sweet. It was like I think there was the last 2 guys from the Gangboo gang. And they were immediately like, because there's 15 minutes or 20 minutes on the clock.
Listen, buddy, let's just turn these marbles. What's a pair of marbles any different from some beads?
I knew you were going to go over that.
Shove the most marbles up their ass.
Who can shove?
That'll determine.
It's not who can shove, who can
How
keep
do we
it.
decide who wins?
I was wondering if they had string.
Nobody loses when there's marbles up your ass.
Everybody wins.
Gang boo gang.
Gangboo gang.
Jesus Christ.
But
who's gonna pick up those marbles?
pick up those marbles. What was sweet, because it was like 20 minutes on the clock, I think, and they immediately said, "It's like, we're not gonna fuck around with this. It's gonna be one marble. We're gonna wait until the last 20 seconds. Whoever gets this marble as close to the wall, just one marble." Wins, lose, and that's how it is. And I was like, okay, cool. Like they just spent the rest of the time just kind of talking to each other, having a good time talking. And then, one of them won. I say one of them won. It's not really important who won. One of them won, got it. They hugged. They was like, hey, like, yeah, you better buy me a beer after this and go. Very sweet.
I feel like the Gangboo gang is like the love story.
Honestly, yeah. It was wholesome. It was a wholesome
they
thing.
They just clasped their hands together and like, I'll suck that dick. You'll suck that dick. I'll suck that dick. Just suck that dick. I promise. I'll suck that dick.
But that's why I was upset, because like for the alliances, like they showed just a bit, and it was interesting, both of them, because both had like a sense of like, like holding each other up. I think they showed way more for the Gangboo gang, but then I was just like, okay, but then Gangboo gang got destroyed, and then they would just not show the Black Alliance anymore. So I was like, okay, well, I guess who cares? I guess Netflix.
Was there one of them that was like intense in that? Like for that game specifically, was there one of them that's like intense?
So
like relationship in the balance, drama.
It wasn't really relationship in the balance. There's one that was like really funny, and the other one where I'm curious also on what you guys would have done. So the first one I found funny because there's this I don't think she's fully deaf. I think she has like impaired hearing. And she's talking to this guy. She does sign language to this guy, and that one killed me because I was like, oh my god, I did not expect like such like back talk from the guy. It was like the old man. I was like, Jesus Christ. So he's asking her, it's like, why like should you like win type of thing. It was just asking. I was like, why do you think you should win on this? Because they're just trying to make small talk real quick. And she's like, well, like. I just wanted, representation for sign language, like people and everything. And like, I talk to other people I do sign language with other people. I do
like fucking money. That's why I want to fucking win. Shut the fuck up.
You have to give something. I'm like, fuck it. I'll do that.
I just want to win because you're a cunt. What's the sign for fucking money? And fucking sign it, okay?
There's not enough women
because
on
I need
the Squid
fucking
Game
money
to represent women.
Motherfuck, because I'm fucking deaf. I need fucking money.
Wait, so she does a sign language thing. She's like, oh, I like teaching other people sign language. And the guy's like, oh, like I have a hearing aid myself too and everything. And she's like, yeah, I saw it. And she's like, why didn't you teach me sign language? I was like, what? And she's like, and she was just like, oh, well, it's like, it's not like I go out and teach people. He's like, you never talk to me about saying, why shouldn't we talk to each other? We have the most in common. And I was like, wow, that came out of nowhere. Well, like nowhere for us. I was like, whoa, that is spicy.
One heated ass gang sign
Super
battle.
heated. And then he was just like, I think you're using this as like, you're trying to put like a pity thing. I think you're trying to make it like you should win
Did
for
she
some
actually
bullshit
do
and
sign
everything.
language?
She does sign language, but the thing is like there was something there that he brought because it looked like it took her by surprise too. Because I was like, she did not expect that. So that was a very tense game, but she still ended up winning. And he was just like,
The gang signs got
he
it.
was just like, congrats. And then he fucking walked away.
Just raises one middle finger like
He's like,
And she's like, I don't hear that.
they have to throw. She said, I didn't hear shit.
sorry.
Just a double take. What'd you say? Huh?
What did you just sign to me?
Fucking go. Their game, I think it was like throwing as much marbles as close to the wall and everything. So it was that. So like 1, 2, like they did a bit of rounds and she ended up winning. Then the second one, which this is what I'm very interested on how you guys would react because I was really pissed at that guy at the last episode. I told you guys where he randomly put himself with a girl to not be alone for the pairing up, and he was just like, oh, like I'd rather be, I guess, with you than alone, just in case. But you sense like there was some like weird thing here, and then they're sitting down. And they're discussing what game to play. So she's just like, look, I don't want to do like a game of throwing because I don't fully trust my own throwing. I feel like maybe we could do like a game more by chance and everything. And he's immediately like, I'm not going down because of a game of chance. I'm doing throwing. And she's like, okay, like let's compromise on that. And like they spend almost the entire time having to argue like with this, and I'm on her side.
Honestly, just punch her in the fucking head. Like
no, because like she actually kept giving more stuff of like, okay, well maybe we can do that. Like more, I don't remember what she gave, but like other stuff where it didn't fully go on chance. And he was just like, no, I'm not doing it. And she keeps like looking at the time. It's like, yo, we like don't have time. We're gonna have to find something. And he's like, I'm not doing it. I'm only doing throwing. And she's like, I'm fucking trying to compromise with you the entire time. And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
honestly, I wouldn't do it either though. Why would you leave it up to fucking chance?
That's
Fuck
fair,
that.
but that's fair. But at the end, she ends up
Sounds
being
like a you fucking problem. You knew there was marble-based games in the fucking series. Maybe you should have gone outside and thrown some fucking marbles,
no,
you dickhead.
This is where I have a problem. She ends up saying yes. She's like, "Fuck it, we'll do it," because there's only 1 minute
And
left.
she wins.
She
fucking conned him for 20 minutes.
I that would have been so funny.
He's in a rush. He's throwing his marbles fast. She's just like gently.
It's so funny. So she like they end up like throwing in. She gets it first, and it takes some time before he gets it, and like so now they're tied. And then there's like 2 seconds left. She throws, she misses. It's a tie. It ends in a tie.
Oh.
So then they're like, the guys are like, well, you're going to have to figure out who won. And she's like, well, I threw it in first. So, and he's like, no. He's like, no, you don't get the win for that. And she's like, oh my fucking God. Like I said yes to what you wanted. I ended up conceding. I threw it in first. Shouldn't I win based on that? And he's like, no. And they both get eliminated. And
What a cunt.
I would have been, I'm sorry, but like I was fully on her side. She conceded. She got it in first. Like, fuck you. I think I would have punched him. I would have fucking.
Fuck.
I'd have been livid.
I'd be fucking like, I would have fucking punched him. I would have been like, how fuck. I understand like not wanting to go home, but to the point where it's like, okay, but at this point, it's like, what the fuck else do you want me to do? Like, I don't want to.
Like you force yourself with her,
Yeah.
and then you're just like everything you say is shit.
So Gang Boo Gang gets completely, almost practically dissolved. Those two that had like this argument about who was gonna win, only for both of them to lose, which I found still kind of funny but a little annoying, gets eliminated.
Was that part of the Black Alliance?
No, she was not part of Black Alliance. She might have been, but I think she was just kind of like free agent.
Free agent popping her
A
shit.
free agent. But yeah, they get eliminated. And then you get the son and the mother. Gonna go real quick. Son wins, obviously. The mother actually still wanted to like participate and get in, but like he wins. I think it was like throwing the marble as close to the wall. They have like an emotional goodbye. Cuts off the
People are very creative. All right.
I'll see you home.
Oh, it's all
I'll see you home,
marble
literally.
I'll see you at home, Mom. Oil up.
Dog. Jesus Christ. So
Did they cry again?
yeah.
Bunch of pussies. He was crying.
Yeah, but then he started licking his mom's tears
the
off her
fuck
face.
up.
Like,
He hates it so much.
It's
Oh my
okay.
god.
Turn into Count Dracula.
Motherfucker. Basketball guy gets in. Other people get in. Blah blah blah. Episode
Blah,
7.
blah,
Blah
blah.
blah blah. Episode 7 is
All the good people are out, basically.
yeah, I
there's-
miss Brighton.
yeah, I do miss Brighton too. But there's some good people. I still like basketball guy. He's
It's
funny.
like the last episode of Physical 100.
Bro, I swear to
God
God, if they accidentally eliminated all their people that's bringing tea in, you know what I mean? And then they just like suck with the boring people.
They just didn't show any of the too much of the interesting people. And then the
I mean,
ones
at this point, the producer's just like, okay, fine. I guess you guys are the fucking finalists.
so they get in, and then it's another mini game that's for the entirety of the episode. And I found it really funny because it's only like, I think, 25-minute, 30-minute episode. The others were like almost close to an hour. This one I was like, okay, they're definitely trying to now slow it down for like the bigger challenges. So it's an elimination one, and then the girls realize that there are only like 9 girls and like the rest are guys. So they're like, all right, let's try to we'll break all of this up and let's try to like band together so that we can get in, because like if it gets dicey, like, and if it's more physical, like they might take us out much more quickly, but at least we'll have us. So I was
Girls,
like,
go around, sleep around. Go ahead.
We're produced.
Get some teams going. Come on.
That'd be a better show.
Jesus.
So
Bachelor.
the Bachelor with 9 girls.
They decide to band together, and there was like this thing that the guard said, like, oh, like before even knowing that it was an elimination thing, they just asked like who is gonna lead you for this next challenge. They elected TJ, or he elected a bit himself. Other people were like bitching about it on their corner, but I was just like, well, if you wanted to be elected, then just fucking say no. Because he kept asking, is everybody cool with it? And then the other other people were bitching about it. I'm like, then just, you should have fucking said something. Don't stop. I don't know. That pisses me off. I don't like people, like, the choice is being made. They get to make that choice. And then they're just like, the choice is made because they didn't vote. They didn't do
Yeah.
anything. And then they're just like, I don't want him. I didn't want him. And I'm like, then why the fuck didn't you say anything?
Yeah, or they're like, they say they're completely okay with it, and then 2 seconds later, they're like, oh my God.
I was not okay with this.
I was not okay
a
with it.
decisive ass bitch.
It's like deciding to where you're gonna eat as a couple. They're like,
did not want
fine,
this."
we're gonna go to Taco Bell.
I don't know.
Well, you don't want to go to Taco Bell? Where do you want to go?
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
Like, well, I don't know.
It's like, I don't know, but choose something other than Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Burger King?
Sometimes it's
Like,
hard.
I don't know. You choose. I'm like, Taco Bell.
No, choose
sushi.
something else.
Taco Bell, okay?
You like
something else.
sushi.
I'm trying to have my entire ass come out. Liquefied.
Before getting rimmed.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't taking it there, bro.
Damn, Chris.
Shit, dog. You sure that girl on the other end ain't a boy too? The fuck?
What the fuck y'all into?
2 girls.
I was talking more in regards to you. I was making
Chalupa.
Nah, this is all your stuff.
Sure.
That's
Ass eating. Ass eating is fun. I mean, I've never ass eaten.
Bullshit.
Never ass
We
eaten in my
fucking
life.
know.
No, that shit, like, no, that's a bit, like, I understand why people want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm like, no.
But you're like, yeah, I don't want to.
Welcome to Booty Flavored Secrets podcast. How you doing?
Booty flavored secrets podcast.
Today, getting ass eaten. Should you get Taco Bell before?
Yeah, get it all out at least.
Now, which is the best food to get before?
I hear it's like fish food.
Yuck. So we get to episode 8, which is one of the most famous challenges in the show, and it's the glass bridge. The way that works is that there's like two like parallel bridges, and it's like there's like 17 tiles like on each, and depending on which one you go, because you have to do like a pattern on how you go, because if you go on one, it breaks and you fall and you die. In the show, you
And
immediately.
It's like it's a glass, so you can barely see it.
Exactly. In the show, like it's not glass because it's kind of like not Pyrex, but it's man, I forgot what it is. It's like the
plexiglass?
plastic almost.
Yeah,
Plexiglass. There you go. That's the word. And it's cut in two. And all of them are cut in two so that you can't figure out which one is going to make you drop. And then one of them, what they did say, like as a fun tidbit, is that what they would do is like they'd have, if you fell, they tell you to like crouch very quickly because it's like a tiny, like a little fall because they don't want you to break. Because they don't want you to break and die and fall in the ground. And what they did is that they cut that off with like stunt doubles that would like mimic like a whole ass.
Stunt doubles would fucking die.
They can die. They're not important to Netflix, but
They get paid though.
that's true. They do get paid to do the big like,
The wickaboosh.
the wickaboosh. So I thought that was pretty fun. And but the thing is, obviously, you don't want to be the first one going. Obviously, because you have to set up the pattern, so you don't want to be. And normally in the show, they don't tell you obviously what's the next challenge, so they just handed out like a bunch of like numbers, and people would choose the numbers. And if you got first and you found out that this is the challenge, you're like, I'm fucked. In the challenge, the show, the reality show, what they did is. It was very weird. They had like a claw machine. There's a bunch of bears. Yeah. They have numbers on them, and you have to use a claw machine to get it. But the twist they added is that whatever number you get, you have to give it to somebody. You can't keep that number. So
you get the last number, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, like you get the last number, you're set. You're good.
I know, but no, if you get the bear,
you
know you're fucked.
Yeah, you know you're fucked. So everybody was going through, and then I think it was the deaf girl, she ended up getting like the first bear. And she looks at TJ, she's like, oh, well, like, because you always talk about leading, here you go.
Wow.
I was like, what
a fucking cunt.
I was like, that's such
She's like, bitch, lead by example.
You said all this shit about leading. It's best you start fucking leading.
Like, honestly, it was so... I don't understand what that was about, because I was like, I hope like maybe she thought of it differently, but man, that felt like such an attack. I was like, that is fucking mean.
I couldn't hear you, but you want to be boss.
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Jesus Christ. But I was like, what the hell?
I got you in.
This is so crazy. But yeah, she gives it to him, and he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll lead you guys like all together and everything. And I was like, man, like I love you, basketball guy. I'm sorry. You get to the glass bridge, and they start pulling out a tactic where they're saying like, look, to try to make this as fair, because behind the scenes, Roland is still a part of it, and he's talking about how we were they said like we were still very friendly, like even close to like how little we were at this point. We were still trying to make it where everybody had a fair shot and everything to do. So the tactic they did for the glass bridge was first person gets, like in the row, gets it. If they get it, somebody has to pass them. The second person has to pass them to do the trick. Third too. So that they were like, look, the people who are like dead last, barely anything they need to do. They just go. So it's trying to make the people who are slightly not dead last to still contribute to the thing.
That works until there's one fucker that's standing on the glass and he's like, I'm not moving.
Well,
about that. Hold on. can they throw the bears at the glass panels?
The bears are in another room now.
Oh,
It's
fuck
gone.
that. Because in the show, they use their jackets or something.
Yeah, but like, some get killed because of that. Because there was a guy that was in the show that was that's crouched and was he could kind of tell with the glass what was thinner, what was gonna crash, and what wasn't. So it was working until they cut off the lights so that he wouldn't do it. So I'm because for me, I was like, this is the easiest to cheat, but I'm guessing Netflix was like, if you're trying anything, we're cutting you off immediately. I'm guessing because none of them thinks of that, and I'm like, bitch, I would have cheated as like so much because there's rails. I would have just walked on the rails and walked.
If I was that guy that figured out the glass thing, I would have pretended to like tie my shoes
every time. You're like,
just before like they can.
his
they cut
face
off
was
the-
like on the glass to see, so that'd be really funny tying your
suspicious
shoes.
ass motherfucker, bro.
So like it goes on that way.
The girl won't move. Huh?
There's the TJ falls. Then I was like, man, that's and that sucked because everybody was like
how
hyping
far
it
does he
up.
get?
First child.
Oh no,
It sucked
that fucking
because
sucked.
everybody's like piping it up, and then he's like, I got it. He does like a big jump. I was like, oh,
I would have
man.
loved the deaf girl to be next. Just be like, well, there was your fucking leadership tactic. You got it.
Oh, by the way, just for you, John, deaf girl was 7th. She falls.
Good. Bitch.
He's so
It's okay because she can't hear you.
fucking all. So there's 12 people left. They get
She's never gonna find this.
no, she's not gonna find it. 12 people
It's
left.
an audio only podcast.
Not you coming in and John's like, well, she's never gonna hear this. Definitely not.
John's got John's back. What do you want to say?
Well,
Can we-
kind
can
of
we-
glad she lost.
Could we not bully the deaf girl? Could we not be on record
Well,
bullying
no.
the deaf girl?
It was up to her to not be a dick.
I will admit, like
That
there was
move
like
was fucking
that was
shitty.
That was
Listen,
a shitty move.
she's
I don't
deaf,
understand why she
but
did
she's
that.
not blind, so she could have taken better care of herself.
Jesus
Just
fucking
because
Christ.
you're deaf doesn't mean you can be a dickhead to
That's
someone.
true. That was my biggest
fuck
gripe.
was
I'm like,
that
why the
about?
fuck did you give
That was
that
so
to
unless there was some
TJ?
behind the scenes shit, but like TJ sounded so wholesome.
That's the thing. I was like, why TJ? Like, Jesus Christ. Anybody else you could have given that, but not TJ.
I'm just waiting for her episode on the podcast, I guess.
So next mini test right before like episode.
Wait,
9.
sorry. I'm just one more
Go.
thing. When she told TJ that leadership thing, did she vocally say it or did she sign it to him?
She vocally said
Because that would have been really funny if she said that in
sign language, and he's like, I got no idea what this means.
Thank you for your support.
She starts signing, and then she's just like, he's like, what did you say? And she's just like,
Exactly. At the end of the sign, she just puts a middle finger.
she flips him off. Like, you didn't understand.
She's like, basically middle finger. This is what I mean. So yeah, actually for that, like, what would you guys do?
I feel like your odds go up if you take the turns. But if you're just gonna jump wildly, then you kind of
Like
shoot
if
yourself in the foot.
everyone's doing the overtaking, you continue with that to be fair to the others. I feel like if I'm getting along with everyone, I'll play the game. Because like the thing is, if you do that and you get a good spot, you don't fall, then the people overtaking you will give you like almost 100% chance to survive.
Yeah.
So you know right away if you're gonna make it. Because if you make that one step and you make it, then you're gonna win. So I'd deal with that.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I don't know if it's like if you feel like it's already unfair on you when you're like the first amongst the first already.
Yeah.
Because like I think they were amongst the first. They were the first 5.
Yeah.
So it's like for you, you're just like, well, I don't want to overtake because even if you fall down, my turn is right next anyways, type of deal. Like either way, it's still going.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, yeah, like does it make sense if she didn't want to go and didn't do? But at the same time, like you said, in the spirit of everybody going. So
The way I see it is better. Like I'd rather a 1 in 2 chance than a 1 in 17 chance. You know?
Exactly.
'Cause if you're doing every single like, not only are you like fucking over everybody else, but then you're going and then everybody can see where you fuck up, where you don't fuck up, and they're just gonna be like, all right, well, thank you for doing more than one. So like we can just all know where we're going.
Because you're doing basically like you have a 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
If
then
you're going with everybody else, yeah.
I agree.
also if you need your teammates in the next round,
Yeah,
you
you're
want
fucked.
people to like
Yeah, you want people to be
Yeah.
nice, unlike you, yeah. So it continues to they get in, there's 12 people left. Next game comes up and it's a bunch of like it's a desk, it's a table in the middle. There's a box and there's a bunch of desks and like seats and desks around. So they all sit, it's like their number. And they all sit down and it's kind of like, have you guys ever played the werewolf game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys know the werewolf game.
What? No, that's the one.
What?
Où est-il, Monsieur Loulou?
Oh, Lulu. No, we never sang.
No, it's not that one.
It is that one though,
Okay.
but I never sang a little like Lulu.
It sounds like a pedophile's nursery.
Like a
right?
little
It felt
French
like-
Victorian, like Monsieur Lulu. But yeah, to continue, it kind of works that way where they have guards walk around and everybody closes their eyes. You have to pick somebody, and this person this person what like sucks a dick?
No,
Was
I
that
was
what you?
trying to they close the lights, they walk around. Whoops.
It's like a little, they slip it in and they have to find out whose dick this is. Anyway, going on.
Kind of hot.
That's the new challenge. But yeah, they get up, they get shut off, they get picked. The person gets picked by one of the guards, and the guards walk around so that you don't hear who gets up, which I thought that was a smart idea. They get up, get the box, and they have to put it on somebody's box, somebody's desk. They sit back down. If the person corrects, the person who gets the box guesses correctly who picked them, that person leaves. If they don't, they leave themselves. And that's the thing. What do you guys think of that game?
Like it's pretty much like 7-Up.
What is 7-Up? I never.
You don't remember?
Yeah, you put a you're gonna.
Oh, it's pretty much like 7-Up.
What is 7-Up?
Like like you put your head down and then you put your thumb up,
Oh yes,
and then
it's
somebody
true.
puts your thumb down, and then if you if somebody puts your thumb down, you gotta try kind of guess who it is.
Yeah, but the game where everybody cheated because you could just
You can look at people's feet.
at the ground.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, who's got the new J's? Oh, well, I know. It's like that. But but that where it's much more controlled and they can tell if you're cheating or not. So they do that. And I thought this is where like, this is kind of Maya's episode. I'm explaining more Maya just because I think she played it super well. She gets picked. She knows that if she puts that on Ashley's, it's not going to be right. Ashley's going to know. So she picks Roland, which is one of the podcasts. The guy who apparently was like friends with everybody, like super nice, super friendly with everybody, and nobody had anything against to say. And she justifies this by being like, well, because he's the guy that has so much friends, he's not going to know who hit him. So like she puts it there
Devious.
and she sits back down. And unfortunately, he doesn't guess who it is. And he picks the wrong person.
Damn.
And then he gets to leave.
What? Ashley.
Just goes to show if you want to win a Squid Game, you got to be a dick.
Devious little shit.
Honestly, like she was coming up with more devious strategies, and like she was only shown in the last 3 episodes. So, but it was still interesting, her stuff. So long.
My God.
Long story short, she gets into the final 3. 2 other guys gets in the final 3, and then like that's
Ashley's
how
eliminated.
Ashley's eliminated because she actually put the box on somebody who ended up guessing her correctly. That guy guessed correctly like everybody that picked him, because he was also supposed to be like a guy that had a lot of friends, so it was easier to pick. But he got put the box twice, and he
Wow.
picked the right person twice.
He
I was
knew
like,
the snakes.
One of
It
them
was
was
like,
mine.
you-
He's like, smell the bitch in here.
no, mine knew not to put it on his. I was like, yo, shit, she knew from the get go not to put it on him. I was like,
And he
okay,
knew he
that's
was
fine.
safe because of that.
So he gets, they get in, and then they kind of talk about like, oh, like whose box did you put in? And Mai lies about who she put the box into. So I was like, okay, good. She's still thinking about like strategies and everything. So we're at episode.
She's playing the game.
She's playing the game. She's playing the game. Yeah, I think she was kind of one of my favorites towards the end, just because I was like, oh, you got in the groove. We're at the last episode. Finally, we made it. We made it. We're at the last episode. But yeah.
Now to find it.
You have to find out who wins.
So
Who gets the
there's
$4 million?
It's Brighton.
Ryan comes out.
Blah, blah. Bet you didn't expect me, bruv.
Oh my god, that'd be not the Chav voice.
I love when they bring back old contestants. And
To
shows,
get
and
shot
it's
in
like,
front of them.
You see like one of the soldiers in the back with the mask takes it off. It's Brighton.
It was
Saw
me all
it.
along.
Didn't expect me here. I'm back. Good to be back.
They do this. They have like this really fancy dinner they get to eat because it's emblematic of the original show, and they all eat and they all talk about like
what you're gonna do with the money?
Yeah, like where they come from, like how hard it's been, and it's interesting. But like again,
Everyone
like
had a life struggle.
yeah, and
They
it's
try to kill each other
there's
with knives.
interesting. Like it was interesting, but again, it's like why did you show like if you knew these three were gonna be your last like people, like you couldn't show me more. Like I don't know, felt very weird. But they get placed. There's like three. I call them the PlayStation buttons because they look like PlayStation buttons. There's like a triangle.
That is true. That
So-
is true.
Okay.
There's a triangle, there's a square, and then there's a circle in front. And they basically say over the PA, it's like, oh, there's two people are now. It's like two people that get to the finale. And you have, if you like, you have to press one button, and if it like flashes red or whatever, you're eliminated. And I'm like, that kind of sucks that's like,
That
again,
feels so rigged. Too.
it's, because it's electronic. So I'm
the
like,
most
well,
easiest thing to rig.
it's I was just like I didn't hear anything about rigging there because it's just three contestants and they
prove it
haven't.
either.
That's the thing. There's no proof really. You will never have proof of that. But it's just for me. I'm like anything that's like like press the button. I'm like that. It's easily like you can switch that shit like from somewhere. Like if they're like fuck it, we don't like this guy, switch it over. So. They kind of they wonder who's gonna go first to press the button, and Mai says like she'll go first. And I don't know if it's just me. I don't understand why they were arguing about like who was gonna go first, as if they were afraid of who was gonna go first because she elects herself. Because isn't it a 1 in a 3 chance, like actually 2 in a 3 chance, better than just like a half chance? Because technically, like,
Yeah.
because she gets it and she wins, and now it's just half.
Yeah.
Right? Like, isn't that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a bit confused about why they were all like not sure about going
So if she
first.
presses the button gets eliminated, and then they have to pick between two buttons.
No, she
What's-
gets in. Like, she actually doesn't get eliminated. The button that, like, because there's 2 buttons that are like safe and one that's for elimination. So they get it.
So she gets one, and then that button's void anymore.
That's the thing.
okay.
It's void.
I think the hope is someone before you will eliminate themselves.
I guess so, but I
But then
don't.
if you're third and no one's, then you know you're gonna get.
It's not
killed.
even that
Oh,
you're
that
third. It's like
hurts.
she gets in. You already know that button's now off.
Yeah.
There's one good and one bad. Your
Yeah.
choices got like immediately harder.
Yeah. You have the chance to get 2 instead of getting. Now you have the chance to get 1.
Yeah, you get half, which I'm like, I don't know. Like I would have actually jumped in
good
to do
math, bro.
first. I would have been like, I'm first. Fuck this.
But like the best ones is first and last, because last is like, well, if they get eliminated before you, then you don't have to press the button.
That's
I feel like then let me guess.
Mm.
The third one gets eliminated.
Yeah, the third one, because the second guy comes in and it's the right button. I was like, oh.
But that's the thing. That's the thing with the rigging too, right? Where like they can't have it be where the first person presses.
And then
And
yeah,
exactly. For
That's
the
what I'm
for the
thinking.
suspense, they do that all the time.
Like
That's
if they
what
know
I'm
who's
thinking.
coming up, they could just be like, okay, all buttons are gonna be good. And then the second time they're like, I like this guy too. Okay, all buttons are gonna be good. And then after that, the last one they're like, well, there's
well,
only
I'm
one
fucked.
last one.
Yeah, it was cool
So,
when it
I've
lasted.
got no choice.
They don't even let you get up. They're just like leave. They're like bye.
Take your steak and go.
Like, you better soup up all that sauce.
You get no container. You have to walk out with it in your hand.
You get a Ziploc bag.
Ziploc bag on your nice tuxedo. Just leave. So they get in, and they play like the last game, and I feel like it was a bit overly convoluted. Because in the original, they were supposed to play like a Squid Game, which is like something Korean. Unfortunately, I didn't fully understand the rules, but because they were the last two, they just elected maybe a battle to the death. Works out more in the show, not in the reality show. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like people died. This is like the guy you hated. Fight. In this one, they said, you know how we're gonna stop this? Rock, paper, scissors.
Yuck.
Ooh, that fucking sucks.
Do you want to hear?
Might as well have done musical fucking chairs.
This is what it wanted to. Just two
Just
people.
two people battling out on one chair.
I would have loved if that 12, like the 12, the last 12, it was musical chairs. When I saw the chairs, I was hoping for it. I was like, musical chairs.
That would have been pimp.
But you hear because
Rock,
like
You ever seen those
Paper,
videos of like intense ass musical chair games?
I love
where like
this.
people are fucking tackling each other,
Yeah.
like breaking the chair by sitting down on it because they're fucking charging towards it.
my favorite is like
They're like tackling with
some
they're like
people would
tackling with their
go.
ass cheeks.
I think the guy was gonna sit, and she literally yanks the chair
Yeah.
and then she jumps on
I've
it.
seen like literally risking neck injuries, like severe neck injuries, to fucking win musical chairs. I would love to be a part of one of
Me
those.
too.
Men
This is my
tackling
favorite.
women to the ground. Like, bro.
Fucking kills
Bro, I want to
me.
do musical chairs with like 10 people, but they're all those plastic lawn chairs that
Oh
everybody
my
has.
God,
Like they're
yeah.
like the $10 lawn chairs that just break immediately.
That break-in will splinter in your spine.
To me, perfect. We'll do more like cushiony, you know, like kind of like soft chairs.
Yeah, so you won't kill
But
yourself.
slippery floor. That would be fucking amazing.
Like somebody just spilled soap, so it's just like soapy, slippery.
yeah, exactly.
Or you just lathered it with butter. Like beforehand.
Just butter.
Just everybody's trying to get to the chairs, but they're just slipping away.
You're all naked and greased up.
Where is this going?
Sit on a friend. Pop goes the weasel. Get a little Jack in the Box action if you know what I'm talking about.
First guy sits down, the other one fucking slams sits on him.
The only time you can tell your wife, she just slipped on it.
I swear. Oh man, now I kind of want a musical chair. Well, not naked, but like
Wait, what?
not
Musical
naked.
chair with
Tune
the
in next
boys.
time where we do musical podcast chairs.
Oh jeez. First one.
Leave the
who picks
mics on, we
mic.
can spin around the table.
It's just an audio of us naked slipping around.
All that flapping around.
We're getting fucking nowhere. We're just gonna fly.
Oh my god. I mean, fuck. Now I wish it was that, but yeah, they have them do rock paper scissors, and you hear behind the scenes, and that this is specifically the production team, and I was just like, Jesus Christ. They were like, oh, you know, at the ending of the show, they have them like they're in this like they're in a violent fight, and obviously we can't do that on Netflix and everything. So we were thinking of like after this like amazing game of like trying to like of like betraying your friends and like it's all
Yeah, they're gonna do this
serious.
thing where they're gonna try to make rock paper scissors fucking deep or something.
Not even. At least they didn't do that. They were just like, we thought like, what if after all this hardship, wouldn't it be kind of funny to have them play rock, paper, scissors? I'm like, so they knew how stupid this shit was. They didn't
I
try.
am actually not allowed to say anything about this conclusion
that's what it
because
is.
I have made something quite similar that ends in a similar way.
Yeah, but like yours is at least kind of there's an actual funny part of this. This one I was like, man, like you already had games that were up to chance, and now you're really leaving it like this is such a lame way. Because
The whole show is kind of a mess, though.
it's a mess.
So like they've been lazy the entire time, which is really like shit. At least you, in your thing, it's a masterpiece until the
Talk
end.
about
Of
Colin
like,
Naked.
fuck it.
But yeah, so like they have them there. They have like dramatic lighting on them. Like they're they're standing far apart from each other, and they have to like have their hands behind their backs, and then they had like when it's like 1, 2, 3, and then they go, and
That's lame. Not even the original.
yeah, not
Tap-
even
tap
like
in
a
the hand. Just tap
nope,
in the hand. Fuck
not
it.
even that. And I was just like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Not even that.
Is it rock, paper, scissors, shoe? Or
No rock paper
The
scissors.
podcast when your parents walk in just
I swear they're talking about rock, paper, scissors. I swear.
Yeah, we're talking about rock, paper, scissors.
I walked in on Little Billy and he was just listening to some squid shit. I don't know.
So yeah, they do it. Mai immediately says, I was like, oh, I've played this game a lot and like I have some strategies. I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody's has
played
strategies.
this fucking game a lot. There's no fucking strategy.
I was like, I think there is. She never explained it, so I'm like, I don't know if there is.
No, there's none.
It's probably like it's a game of probabilities.
No,
like, you know what? There's a likelihood he's dumb enough. If I play scissors twice, he's gonna think I have a pattern going, and he's gonna think I'm gonna play scissors.
But that's still a strategy though.
So, okay,
Yeah,
same
but
strategy
then
as
like, you
Battleship.
could also just play scissors a third time for real and be like, is he stupid enough?
That's the strategy.
If
Is he
she
dumb
won,
enough?
maybe her strategy is real.
The strategy is to play something like scissors like multiple times and it'd be like, okay, this guy likes scissors, so I'm gonna catch him with rock out of nowhere. And then like you switch to paper. But the even more devious strategy is like he decides to, you know, like he's like, oh, he's going to switch to paper, so I'm going to stay
scissors.
Yeah, like or something like that, and then you stay scissors, and then ooh,
You're like, ooh.
I bet you didn't expect me to play scissors a third time, bitch.
At least that breakdown was interesting, but she doesn't say anything. They just play it.
That's what she did.
Yes, you know what? Fuck it. That's what she did. But that's what I'm thinking. That's the only thing I thought about. I was like, probably.
So you're
she knows.
saying I could beat Squid Game?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think anyone.
I thought
You
so.
beat rock, paper, scissors.
I've literally proposed
If I
nothing
said
but doable
no,
solutions.
if I
this
said
entire
no,
time.
would you be like,
Honestly,
watch me?
honestly,
Literally, I
all
could do
these
it.
challenges are like the easiest shit
I
ever.
literally, yeah. I
Well,
would figure
except
it
the
out.
ones left up to chance.
Yeah,
and
well,
if
that's the thing.
If you're not sociable enough, if they're just like,
Well,
I
here's
don't
the
know
thing,
you,
don't
bye.
be an unlikable asshole. And maybe you'll get far, except for then when they become assholes to the likable people.
So who wins?
So, but
Of course,
my
what a cunt.
wins. I mean, I didn't even give you the names of the other two.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter.
We
But
just knew mine.
it was a bit over complex, the rock paper scissors, because like if you lost, there was like this safe. There's a bunch of keys. And if you win the first rock, paper, scissors, you go take a key and you would try it out in the safe. If it doesn't work, you do the rock, paper, scissors again until you win again to get your chance of that too. So it was like an elongated rock, paper, scissors plus extra like chance
Is that
of
like a
maybe
40-minute episode?
I think it was 40 minutes actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
They included
Fucking
dinner.
long as hell. And so she wins, and then they have like this montage of everybody kind of like living their lives afterwards, kind of like a quick
As
montage.
if we care.
Not only as if we care, but I'm like, again, Squid Game, like got everybody dead. Like everybody's fine. I didn't need them shot, but like
You just cut the tombstones. Like,
and this is what I mean. It's like the whole narrative of this Squid Game thing. Like I'm confused on what tone they were trying to get Netflix. It was trying to be like, man, like this is like super stressful because like you're here like literal several hours a day, but we're not gonna tell you that. But like you're here like really long hours, and you have to like vote off people, and then you might make friendships, and it's hard, and you're trying to get that money, and then other times it's like, oh, but like it's all fun and games and have fun, and I'm like, okay, but what's the tone? Like, give me a tone. Don't just
I
like.
feel it fucked up that they do like a Beyond Scared straight outro for them. What happened after Timmy
What
visited the prison?
But like, yeah, it ends on the shot of like kind of like in the Squid Game show where like they give her like this credit card and like it's obviously like photoshopped on the ATM where it's like your bank account is $4 million, which is funny because I think she needed to wait 2 months before she finally got her money. The first month she was like, I still didn't get my money. And like there was a bunch of news article being like, the winner still didn't get her money.
Fucking you better bet, man. If I won $4 million and didn't get that shit instantly, I'd be fucking calling everybody.
They were waiting to get paid.
Themselves.
Yeah.
They're like, did this work? If it doesn't work, hey Mai, do you want the chance to go again and really win the money this
Double
time?
or nothing?
What happens with that amount of money though is that,
I think it's probably long to get there, honestly.
but also people like want to keep it in the bank account as long as possible because they gain interest. on 4 million
That is true.
or whatever it is. And so like it's same as like if you're waiting for like money for like a car, even if it's like $200 like from your deposit,
Yeah.
that shit can take a long time because all the $200 deposits that they save up, they get interest on that in the bank. So like companies will do that. So that's why it takes a long ass time for people to get paid or get your $200 fucking deposit from a goddamn car. Bunch of piece of
They
shit.
get all the interest, and they're like, the interest is like an extra million. You're like, you get $4 million.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, motherfucker. There was like $1 million in there. So yeah, like that's the kind of end of the show. It was ups and downs, a lot of downs.
A lot of downs.
And
Doesn't seem like a good show. I don't recommend it.
It left a lot to be desired.
yeah, it's just like, I don't know. We're
just divas, you know. We want the tea constantly.
That's the thing. It's like I wish I had even more like from the first part had like even more like crazy stuff, but like it cooled down quickly because they said that they were nice.
The finalists ended up being fucking boring people.
They were just
Pretty
like
much, yeah.
friendly. They were like, "Well, I'm not gonna fight you." Like, boo.
You fucking suck.
Hey man, if I'm in top 3, I don't care. I'm like, I'm top 3. I'm fine.
It's nothing like Hell's Kitchen.
That's true.
Hell's Kitchen.
That's true. Hell's Kitchen. Quick fun facts that were left. They said that there was some people were insinuating in the show that like Netflix seems to almost want them to fuck because they kept giving them condoms and be like, "Hey, it's okay, like like it's okay, just protect and blah blah blah." And I'm like, yeah, I believe that one. Netflix wants that. Like,
Did
Netflix
people
love that
fuck?
shit.
Dude, Netflix is best at making shows about people fucking, like almost fucking at least.
Or in reality
Like,
shows,
yeah.
they just straight up show it. And it's like
Yeah.
in Love is Blind, like they'll have cameras in their room and they're about to have sex. And I'm like, wait, am I really going to see? It's not full on extra,
it's-
but I'm like, holy shit, like you guys filmed them having sex though.
But it's like when
Yeah,
they
full
I mean,
on.
it's like what's it called? We'll talk about it later, actually. But Hell's Kitchen has that same problem. Yeah.
Yeah, Hell's Kitchen is
Yeah,
pretty.
dude, there's cameras in weird sections of the dorms. Like they'll like censor someone's tits, but I'm like, so
like,
you're
what?
like
You have
watching
that.
someone's tits, yeah.
Yep.
Like
Or like the Jersey
Yeah.
Shore when they literally have a camera pointing right at the bed.
And that's the thing. And that's why I believe them. I'm like, yeah, I get. But
to be an
did say
editor on
some
those
people
shows, that
almost
must be
did.
wild.
They said some people almost did. We're not going to know who it is.
Ashley. Slut.
She has a wife. Nick is just like, everything's fair game when you get to Squid
Dude,
Game.
you're Squid Games. Who gives a fuck?
He's like, you're just about to be fine. This is what it's gonna be. You three are gonna
So
be there.
if Jackie, the deaf girl, gives
God
a hand
damn it.
job, is that oral?
Motherfucker.
She's doing one hand is going and like the other hand's gang saying
That's how you dirty talk.
No. Oh my god, this is terrible. Jesus Christ.
Nobody is safe.
Nobody is safe. So yeah, there was
Doubles.
they said that some stalls were broken because when they had like some people had like Trey said that where I think they had like some Taco Bell or like something I know as like
someone ate ass.
as like a treat as a treat and they shat so much that some stalls got broken and
How did the stall break?
He was holding the door for dear life.
my bad, not the stall, the toilets. Sorry,
Oh
the
my god!
toilet.
Like yeah, somebody's holding the stall,
It's
bending that
the
shit
shockwaves from the fucking chalupa.
He shot up against the door.
It's not just him. I'm not trying to pin this on him, but like he said, like a lot of
Oppenheimer.
the toilets were not like working, and he said there was he had to go to the bathroom because they were eating like a really strict tight diet. You know what I mean?
I know, but a lot of those people don't look that healthy.
He's healthy. He does marathons. That
No,
guy
but
does
a lot of
marathons.
the people in the show don't look that healthy.
Nick is
Some-
like I can tell, and I'm like, you have no idea, Nick.
Yes, you come on, you tell.
Nick,
can
you
tell.
have no idea.
The mullet guy. You know who I'm talking about. The chubby mullet guy. That man drops some deuces.
Is he fucking
Is he?
Aussie?
No, he has muscle. No, he works. No, he doesn't work out. That guy looks like he works
There was a
out. I'll show
couple
you, John.
mullet guys.
There's a lot of mullet guys.
There's
there's a
some.
lot of probably one of them, but Yeah, so he said like he went to the bathroom and he went for like 20 minutes and it got so bad that the production crew had to go and be like, "Hey, you okay? Like, do you need time?"
I sorry, hold on. Okay, this is taking a whole long. Wait, hold on. Hey, sorry. Yeah, it's me, it's Tom. Are you okay in there? We have a medical crew on standby.
Legally, we
okay?
have to do something about this.
Yeah, listen. While you're doing that, I need you to sign one of these waivers here. We just standard insurance stuff. Just say the food we gave you was perfectly fine. Taco Bell was refrigerated, but it's still good. Okay. So yeah, just hope you're doing. Have a good poo. See you later. Okay, thanks.
Another one.
You have 5 minutes.
You have 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes left.
But the game's
and
about
then
to start, so
go.
we'd like to, hurry up.
They also had I think it's like every few days they were allowed to do 10 minutes outside. 10 minutes because it's like a
So it's
sealed
jail.
warehouse.
It is jail.
So like jail, right?
Honestly, yeah.
There's badminton.
At least jail gives you an hour outside.
At least they could play a volleyball game in jail.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is good.
If they had a net.
They make sure. But yeah, they had 10 minutes. Roland admitted it that I think he said he almost got like a weird tunnel fever where he got skipped the first week to go outside and then they let him go and it was at a point where he's like, no, I don't want to go outside anymore. I'm staying in the game. I just want to like.
How long were they
Come
there
in.
for?
They were there for a couple of weeks, like multiple weeks and everything.
For 6 episodes?
For not 10. Well, 10.
That should
Not
be
for
10
everybody.
days.
Ooh, no, that's not enough to film. That's the thing. That's the thing that people don't get, and that's why I wasn't shocked about like the controversy about like the 7-hour fucking real, because you're filming this, and it's not just any type of reality show where it's a bit easier to kind of set up some stuff, or like you can set it up and like have as much time as you need to do it, or like kind of have it on the run while the person, I don't know, talking in the street. In this one, you have to get everybody's reaction. You got to get confessionals. You got to get the people there, and you have to keep the spirit of the game, which means like they can't be going outside on their phones doing shit. So you have to keep them there as well. So several hours shoots, you're trying to get as much footage as you can. It can't be done in 10 days. 10 days would be insane. We'd see
Also
nothing.
provoking people to have sex.
Is there any sex?
In those 10 days, there's no time.
That takes
No.
a lot of time.
So they did a shit job.
I mean, think about it. They don't return your uniform, by the way. Like they don't replace that. So you have this uniform for like weeks. And then I think I don't.
It's called seasoning, okay?
You shower, but the uniform can get grimy. So I'm like, I think one of the girls, I think B, the Mensa girl, she was like, yeah, there's people that I think that they almost did, but honestly, everybody was like sweaty. It wasn't the time to think about
Okay, so
sex.
here's what I do. I shower, take my uniform to the shower.
Probably people did that.
And piece by piece, just I know it's like human soap, but it's soap nonetheless. Just soak it and then air dry it. And
I'm
then
pretty
just-
sure people did that.
My thing is washed.
Walking in your underwear for an evening.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure
We're all
some people did
living
that.
under the same fucking roof.
I mean, you're
like,
trying to
fuck
get
it.
laid at the end of the day.
That's the whole point,
Walk
right?
around your underwear.
I don't
it's
know,
easy
man. Like, do
access.
you really want Netflix to have like a full on? Because Netflix is filming. It filmed from every aspect. They even had
I
it in the
used to live in a
showers.
hostel. I'll be fine.
He's like, somebody has me.
I walked around
I'm
the
in
hostel.
somebody's database.
A bunch of people saw me in my underwear.
But yeah, like that was the end of like the quick fun facts I had. It was something that I was kind of interested in. I was wondering how you guys would even fare in the Squid Games. I'm glad you guys.
I'd win. We'd all win. We would team up. We'd destroy the competition.
Team up win. Oh man, but yeah, that's. I thought it was fun. I thought it was an interesting like little challenge and everything. And I hope season 2 we all get in there and we show them who's boss.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Amazing episode. Thank you so much, Priscilla, for that
Thank
fine
you,
read.
Prissy.
A nice hand of applause for her. Yeah, I like this soundboard. As with usual, I am John. You can find me on Instagram. My name is Director Jon Ramirez. I also have a YouTube. It is called Deadtime Media. You can see my movies there. I also have a review channel. It is called John Hates.
This is the other John. Don't really have anything to plug like the other episode. So Unknown Juan, the letterbox, if you want to see it.
My Instagram's Nicola Serafino, exactly how it sounds.
I still don't have an Instagram.
Keep the letterbox.
And not a MSN either. So I'm out of ideas. Write me a letter. Goodbye, Priscilla.
Write her a letter. Have a good day. Take care of yourself. We will see you next time.
Bye.